Arun was 26 years old and he had been carrying buckets since he was 15. That was the first thing to understand about him. Not that he was poor. Lots of people in the village were poor. Not that he worked hard. The village was full of hard workers. What made Arun different was the sheer number of years. 11 years of the same 2 buckets, the same river path, the same ache settling into his lower back around midday and staying there until he fell asleep. The work was simple. Walk to the river before sunrise, when the water was still cold enough to numb your fingers. Fill both buckets, carry them back through the narrow lanes, past the sleeping houses, and knock on doors. Mrs. Sharma needed 2 buckets for her kitchen. Old Mr. Das needed 1 for his garden. The tea stall at the corner took 3 every morning without fail. By the time the village was fully awake, Arun had already made 4 trips. By noon, 7. By evening, when the other young men were sitting around the tea stand talking about cricket and marriage, Arun was still walking. His shoulders had developed a permanent forward slope from the weight. His hands were lined with cracks that never fully healed. He earned enough. That was the strange part. He always earned enough for the day, for that specific Wednesday or that particular Friday. But Friday's coins could not reach Monday's hunger. By the time the week turned, his pockets were flat again, and the only thing to do was pick up the buckets and start over. One evening, he came home to find his mother sitting in the dark. The oil lamp had run dry. She did not complain. His mother never complained. She just sat there in the gray light from the window, rubbing her knuckles the way she did when the pain was bad, and said nothing at all. Arun bought the oil. Of course he did. He walked straight back out and spent that day's earnings on a small tin of lamp oil. But as he sat across from his mother, watching the flame catch and steady itself, something inside him cracked open. 11 years, and a tin of lamp oil had cleared him out. He went outside and sat on the stone step. A few minutes later, his grandfather lowered himself down beside him. The old man's knees made a sound like dry twigs snapping when he bent them, and he let out a long breath as if he had been holding it for hours. For a while, neither of them spoke. The dust settled on the road. Somewhere a dog barked twice and gave up. "I do not understand," Arun said finally. "I work more than anyone. Ask anybody in this village. They will tell you." His grandfather nodded slowly. "They will tell you? Then why?" The old man looked at him for a long moment. There was no pity in his eyes. Arun had seen pity before and he knew what it looked like. This was something else. Patience. The patience of a man who had been waiting for this exact conversation. "Come," he said. "There is something you need to see." They walked through the village together, past the last row of huts, to a house Arun had passed hundreds of times without ever really looking at it. It was ordinary. Same mud walls, same thatched roof. But beside it, running all the way from the river to a small pond, was a narrow channel dug into the earth. Water moved through it quietly, without hurry, as if it knew exactly where it belonged. Arun stared at it. Who made this? "A bucket carrier," his grandfather said. Years ago, every afternoon, when the other men were resting in the shade, he came here with a spade and dug. 1 hour, that is all. His friends thought he was wasting time. His wife worried he was losing his mind. But he kept digging. The old man bent down and ran his palm along the edge of the channel. And then, one day, the river found his path. And from that morning onward, he never carried another bucket. Not because he got lucky, not because someone helped him, because he spent 1 hour a day building something while everyone else was resting. Arun stood very still. "Do you see?" his grandfather said. "The bucket carriers of this world, and there are thousands of them, millions of them, they wake up and they chase. They chase wages like a dog chasing a cart. And at the end of the day, the cart is in the same place it started, and the dog is exhausted." He straightened up and faced his grandson. "But the man who dug this channel, he stopped chasing. He built something, and now the water comes to him while he sleeps, while he eats, while he sits on his step and watches the evening come. He is not smarter than you, Arun. He is not stronger. He simply stopped running long enough to build. Arun looked at the channel and then at his grandfather and then at his own hands. The cracks, the calluses, the permanent bend of his fingers around handles that were never his. He did not sleep that night. He lay on his mat, replaying 11 years in his head, every trip to the river, every coin that vanished, every morning that looked exactly like the morning before. At dawn, he went to the river. He filled his buckets and made his deliveries, same as always. But when the midday heat came and the other men stretched out in the shade, Arun borrowed a rusted spade from the back of the tea stall and walked to a quiet bend in the riverbank. He knelt in the wet earth and he began to dig. The other men laughed. Of course they laughed. Arun the mud digger, they called him. Found treasure yet? He never answered. He just kept digging. 1 hour a day after his work was done, while the village napped and the sun pressed down on his neck. For the first 2 weeks, he had nothing to show for it. Just a shallow, ugly scratch in the dirt and blisters that broke and bled and reformed. By the 3rd week, the scratch had become a trench. By the 4th week, the trench had reached his plot of land. And on the 31st day, he removed the last handful of soil and the river found him. Water pushed into the channel, filled it and began to run. Slow at first, as if testing whether the path was real, then steady, then sure. Arun stood there with mud caked up to his elbows and watched water he had not carried flow toward land he had prepared. He did not feel triumphant. He felt quiet. He felt like a door that had been locked for 11 years had finally swung open. That evening, he sat on the step again, and his grandfather joined him. "So," the old man said. Arun nodded. "All those years, I thought the answer was working harder. And now? Now I know. You cannot outwork a system that was not built for you. You have to build your own." The old man said nothing. He just smiled. The real kind this time. And the two of them watched the darkness come in, listening to the sound of water that moved on its own. If this story meant something to you, please like this video and write in the comments. I will build my channel.